What's up guys, I'm the East Coaster fan, and today I'm at somewhere new. Now, some of you may know what this is, and by looking at the title, you already know what it is. But I'm still gonna say it anyway. Today I'm at Bayville Adventure Park for their Halloween event, Bayville Scream Park. Now, I've heard a lot about this event, including the countless commercials that would always play during this time of year. And I'm really excited. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but still, it's weird knowing that I've been so close to this haunt event and I haven't even been to it. So, I think the plan is to show you a little around the park, and then we're gonna go in some of the haunted houses. Let's do this. So walking in, you could see they actually got a lot of decorations out, including large skeletons and corn stalks. To the right here is some sort of rope climb, which is actually right next to their big pirate miniature golf. I'm not going to be doing that today, but still it looks pretty impressive. I walked around it and took a look at it, and it looked nice. Now here is the place where you buy the tickets, but I have already pre-purchased everything. I have bought it for the Bloodworth Haunted Mansion, which is right there, and Uncle Needle's Funhouse of Fear. Those are going to be the two that I'm going to be doing today. But it's going to be interesting, so I'll take a look around the park a little bit more, and then I'll start going in line. If you're watching this in 2020 and you're curious as to what the COVID-19 measures are, here is what they have. Feel free to pause and you can read them over. Now, if you're coming to Bayville Scream Park, these are the prices as of 2020. Now, they are a little steep, so I wouldn't recommend doing all the haunted houses. Pick a couple that you really want to do, and I think you'll be good. Now, I don't know exactly what this is, and it's not even open, so I don't have to look. But over here is the bumper boats. This is when the park is normally operating. These are open. And this also looks really neat. Let's see if I could get a better view. Yep, here. They got this nice theming in the back. A few elephants. There's a zebra over there. Overall nice. I've done bumper boats once, and it's alright. It's definitely more of a kid's ride, but still a neat thing for a park to have. Fun fact is actually Adventureland used to have bumper boats, but Crocodile Run took it over in, I believe, 2004. So it's just a little bit of interesting thing to know. Also, there's this giant slide here, which is not open, which is a shame because it looks really cool. Now you may be thinking, what is Buzz Bay's Bungee Bounce in the Adventure Dome? And that is over there. It might be really hard to see, but there is a giant metal dome over there, and they have a trampoline in there. Kind of like the ones at Adventureland, but it's inside a huge circle. If you can avoid all the hanging bodies, this is the entrance to the miniature golf. And they call it Curse of the Zombie Pirates, but I'm not exactly sure if they're offering it this year. I know they've had it as a haunted house in the past because of the commercials, but again, not sure. Now I've reached the end of the park. It's not a big park at all. In fact, it's pretty small. It's about the size of the old Boomers. But anyway, at the end there's two things I want to point out. First is the Balloon Wars. This is very similar, in fact it's exactly the same, as the Water Wars that used to exist in front of the Crocodile Run at Adventureland. Now I really love that, but unfortunately since it's September, it is closed. And the other thing is this area right here. Now normally this would be a parking lot, but this is actually where they're showing drive-in horror movies this year. I don't know how exactly they're going to orient it, but at least they're using the space for something. So Bayville Scream Park this year is home to, I believe, 6 haunted houses, and I'm going to be showing them all to you. This is the first one, and it's pretty much the main one, called Blood Manor Haunted House. And it's just your typical haunted house, I believe. I'm filming this before I've gone inside, so these are just my general thoughts on as to what's going to be inside. But one of the interesting things that I saw right away is that carriage, which is really nice, but there's also these videos playing on top of the windows, which is a neat effect. This is Uncle Needle's Funhouse of Fear. This one I do have a ticket for, so I will be doing this later tonight. And, you know, it's a clown house, so there's going to be a bunch of clowns, optical illusions, things like that. I think you also get 3D glasses with it. But it looks really intriguing, especially the facade on the outside. So I'll definitely tell you my opinion about this one later. Over here is the Bayville Haunted Asylum. I am not doing this haunted house tonight, but it still looks cool. It's located in between the Bloodworth Manor Haunted Mansion and Uncle Needle's Funhouse of Fear. Now I assume there's going to be like scare actors with needles, and probably some of the patients are inside there as well. Looks interesting. This one is the Temple of Terror. Now this one I think takes place inside of a maze, which is really interesting, like an actual maze. I know in a lot of the haunts around they call them scare mazes, but this one's an actual maze. So that itself is pretty frightening. But inside there's like a bunch of mummy guys, I believe, and temple-like creatures. So if you're into that sort of thing, this is the haunted house for you. It's very hard to tell, but in between the Funhouse and the Temple of Terror is the cage. Again, not exactly sure what this one is, but it's kind of weird that it's so hidden like that. And I think there's a scare actor back there. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but I can see it. Looks scary. This house is called Evil in the Woods. Now, I don't really know a lot about this haunted house, but I do know that a portion of it goes into the actual woods behind the park, which is really neat. And that's really all I can say about this. Again, I know nothing about this haunted house, but the facade does look cool. Alright, so I have now looked at all the haunted houses. It's now time to go inside one. Let's start off with Uncle Needle's. Alright, I just got out of Uncle Needle's Funhouse of Fear. That was actually pretty good. I liked it. I was towards the back, so I think I missed out on most of the scares. But still, I think that was a good house to start off with. Now I'm on to my second house. This is actually my last house. I only purchased two because the prices are a little high here, but that's okay. But it is for Bloodworth Manor, so that'll be the last house of the day. Let's do this. One thing I forgot to mention about the Funhouse is that they're actually not handing out 3D glasses this year, which is a little disappointing, but I think that's because of the pandemic. I could only imagine though how the 3D would make that house amazing. Whoa. Okay, so this is actually the same exit as the Funhouse, so this is why it looks so similar. But I just got out of Bloodworth Manor. That was really good. But I think it was really good because I was all by myself. I had no one else to go with. When I was in the Funhouse before, I was kind of with the group, and I was towards the back, so I didn't get any of the scares. This time, I got all of them. And I was actually pretty impressed with it. They did a good job in there. So I'm gonna look around, maybe get a few things to eat, and then I'll head on out. like I said before, this park isn't big at all. I'm probably standing right in the center of it, and you could probably see the end there and the end over there. But the park is really just this like main pathway. Really everything that you're able to do here is on this path. Now, one thing this park is lacking is scare actors on the outside. It's really just a bunch of haunted houses. There actually used to be this thing they did here called the Parade of the Dead, but I don't think they do that anymore, which is a shame because I think that would work really well here. But the haunted houses speak for themselves and they're good enough. So I met some new friends at Bayville Scream Park. Do you want to say hi? Well said. So I'm here the first night that Bayville Scream Park is open, and I've normally heard a lot about long lines, but the funhouse is a walk-on. There is no line. So, I mean, I definitely expect it to get a lot busier as we approach Halloween, but this is great. I'm by the entrance of the park right now, and right as you enter, there's actually an ice cream place. But I'm not going to be getting ice cream. There's actually a dessert that I saw, and I have to get it. So I'm over by Evil in the Woods, which is a nice lit area. It's also quiet. There's a lot of loud music in this park. But nevertheless, I got the dessert that I was talking about, and it's probably the strangest dessert I've ever seen at a park. Yep, it's a syringe. It's actually filled with Jell-O. So it's a Jell-O shot. And what makes it even weirder is that you could get it with or without alcohol. I obviously got it without alcohol, but the fact that it has alcohol in it is insane. So, I'm gonna try it, see how it tastes. So it's not even 2 minutes after I finished filming that last clip, and I already finished my Jell-O shot. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And the best part is I get to take this home with me as a souvenir. Now, if you're wondering what the price of that was, it was about $5.25, I believe. $5.25. So, I'd say it's a pretty fair price. Definitely a lot lower than the haunted houses, that's for sure. So this is the pathway to the Shipwreck Tavern. I believe this is the same restaurant that they have on the sidewalk. So I guess you can enter from here or the outside. There's also, because I walked over there and looked, they have the kids bounce house for, I believe it's called the Kids Not So Scary Days. So that's where everything would be, behind all these haunted houses. Now this is the arcade of Bayville Adventure Park. Not sure if it's open, but it does seem like they have a good selection of things to play if you want to. Also, over there, there's this giant rock wall, and I believe it goes pretty far up, like past this ceiling height. Pretty interesting. Here's a view from the outside of the roof extension made for the rock wall. Interesting. So this is the main food court area of the park, and there's a lot of seating over here as well. I think I found the scariest thing inside Bayville Scream Park. It's not this ice cream. It's Ask Professor Bay. Look at his face. He knows what's up. I'm just taking one last walk around Bayville Scream Park, and one thing that came to my mind about Bloodworth Manor is just how dark it is. There was a section where it's like pitch black, but then there's also sections where it's completely strobe. So it really just messes with your vision all throughout. The funhouse has a lot of bright colors, but that's to be expected. I didn't even notice this until I was leaving, but they actually have an attraction up these stairs. It's like one of those things that the astronauts use to test I don't know exactly what it tests, but it's a cool looking contraption. Yeah, so they're using their space to their advantage. So I'm guessing because of COVID-19 this year, the Scream Park store is closed, but I imagine that in this place you'd be able to get a bunch of cool merchandise for this event. So if you don't want anything to eat inside of Bayville Scream Park or Bayville Adventure Park, there's plenty of options on this little sidewalk area right here. So there are definitely places to eat all over. So I thought I'd point this place out before I leave. This is the Tiki Bar Cafe, and it has a lot of nice theming. There's this big boat right here, and it's a really nice bar area over there. Now, originally when I came here, I was actually worried about parking because I knew that these spots right up here were gonna fill up very quickly, and I wasn't sure about the back parking lot. But there is a lot of beach parking available, so there's nothing to worry about there. Alright guys, I'm going to end my night here at Bayville Scream Park. A couple things to note. I know there are some people who say like, oh, this place isn't good, it's nothing like the commercials. Well, you can't base a place on commercials because they always try and make it seem so much better than it is. That being said, I did have a pretty good time here. Now, this place has received mixed opinions. There's some people who say that the staff isn't nice, which I thought the staff was really nice and in character. They seemed happy to be working. Now it is, again, the beginning of the season, so their attitudes might change as the season goes on. The lines weren't that long, which was definitely a plus side. And I thought the haunted houses were pretty decent. They are expensive, but they're pretty good in my opinion. So I'm gonna end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a like. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.